The security situation in Katsina State has called for more concern. Now, 2 passengers at the weekend were killed and 3 others were kidnapped after a team of armed bandits attacked the Magamar-Jibia border axis in Jibia local government area of Katsina State. An eyewitness revealed that the bandits attacked the border community on Saturday at about 9:15 p.m. He narrated that before a joint police and military personnel repelled them, the hoodlums already stopped 2 vehicles along the major road, killing 2 passengers and kidnapping 3 others. Last week, several bandit leaders were reported to have laid down their arms, reaching out to the Katsina state government, seeking a robust peace agreement that is committed on both sides. The special advisor to the state governor on security matters, Ibrahim Ahmad Katsina, joins us now to speak on the security situation in the state and what the government is doing to dig it to the barest minimum. I'd like to say thank you for joining us this afternoon on the show, sir.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Well, the security situation is certainly something of concern. We know that there were 3,000 vigilante groups that are currently in training, about 6 of them in active training in your state. I just want to know what the update is on them. Obviously, they cannot be everywhere at the same time, so this incident over the past weekend is quite unfortunate. But just to speak on what advances this vigilante group is making, if any, to make sure that Katsina State is a little bit more safe than it was a couple months ago?
Well, with special gratitude to God, it is gratifying to note that the security situation in the state is improving seriously because of the several measures we are taking. The incidents you have reported just now are isolated cases. And based on our analysis, what we are facing in Katsina is what is called community banditry. Community banditry in the sense that members of the community connive with the armed bandits, invite them, serve as their informants, which by implication is giving credence to the instance we are having now. But to be on top of the situation, we decided to evolve community-based approach. That was the essence of the recruitment of the vigilantes we are making, and is making serious impact in the security management of the state. On the aggregate, even last week, we made research imperatives, and it has shown that the banditry in the state has dropped drastically in comparison to our neighbors. You can verify from your correspondents and the other media reportages. The current incident we're having, as I said, are isolated cases which should be expected, but we're being more proactive. And the essence of the engagement of these vigilantes is because every crime has a local content. Since members of these vigilantes are from the local communities, they help our security agencies with local intelligence, and they guide them in their operations. Because as you rightly observe, the security agencies cannot be everywhere. And the areas where having these isolated attacks, we are giving more attention to them in trying to isolate those incidents. And it is gratifying also to note that the bandits themselves haven't realized the fact that their actions are not productive any longer, are laying down their arms, are reaching out for peace. And these measures were taken are based on reality on ground. Most of them have realized that banditry doesn't pay. So it's better for them to lay down their arms, embrace peace, which is agreeable to both terms. Our current approach is very simple. We are not incentivizing criminality. If you agree to come down and lay your arms and be part of the peace-building process, you are welcome. Because every situation, every battle ends at the round table. So we have realized that the need to expand the peace process, let them realize the actions by the government are not punitive, but reformative. So they have realized the imperatives of teaming up with the government, realizing the need for them to lay down their arms, because they have seen for real the state government is serious in fighting this crime, and we're not going to let in our efforts. These vigilantes are being recruited and being trained to pursue them and neutralize their activities. And I'm happy to inform you that the security forces are enjoying the robust arrangement we have made with these vigilantes because they operate under the guidance of the security forces, the traditional community leaders in our areas. They are not just allowed to go and operate on their own. They collaborate with the security forces so that they guide them, because most of the security forces are not from this area. They're from other parts of the country. Unless the community is ready to assist them before they can succeed. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just ask you, we know that a couple of weeks ago there was some sort of controversy over whether the federal government had given Katsina State approval to equip its security outfit with sophisticated arms like the AK-47. I know at a point the state government denied that it had gotten permission to equip the vigilantes with such. But you also released a statement saying that about 600 vigilante guards have been trained in the use of sophisticated weapons, including AK-47. So I'd just like your clarification. Do you have the approval? Are you still seeking the approval so that these vigilante guards can be equipped with sophisticated weapons?
You know, security issues are not discussed at the market square on media platforms like that. But for clarification, let me inform you that the training we gave our vigilantes was based on reality on ground. How you get me? We have trained them to use pump action machine, but they need to be trained on the use of AK-47 because that's the weapon the criminals are using. So if they don't know how to dismantle, how to disarm the criminal elements, tell me how they can succeed. So the controversy is not necessary. What I expected anybody that is feeling Katsina is not doing the right thing is to be humble enough to come and ask us the imperatives of what we are doing. It's not something of that will generate controversy. There is no need for that. Security affects everybody. And let me be frank with anybody that's ready to listen and be humble enough. What we did in Katsina, we did not create separate militia. We built our system on the existing vigilante group of Nigeria that is registered by law and that has branches everywhere in Nigeria. We do not recruit people freshly and arm them as our own militia. No. We build the structure based on the existing vigilante group of Nigeria, ask them to liaise with the security forces, and the recruitment process was done with the supervision, with the contribution of all the security agencies in the state. It's not something that we have decided to recruit people differently, arm them. No. And let me be more clearer here. We do not procure arms for the vigilantes. We procure arms through due process for the police to give to the vigilantes. We don't give people arms anyhow. These civilians that are being trained are being used by security forces, and the arms we procure are given to the security forces to give to them whenever there's need for operation. So people should understand the dynamics of what we are doing, not just to come to the media and start making noise that is unnecessary. This security issue affects everybody, affects all of us, so we should harmonize our approach. Let people be humble enough to ask us, how did we achieve this feat? So that all we can team up together and serve the same country. We should not politicize the issue of security and start making noise that is not necessary. We did not arm our vigilantes with AK-47. What we did is we procured pump action machine for the police to give to the vigilantes whenever they're going for the operation. Simple.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we do want to know exactly how Katsina State has been able to achieve this feat and whether or not this is something that can be applied in other states and what that would take in terms of ironing out with the federal government. We only have a short amount of time, so let's go.
Excellent. That's what I expected. Humility in the approach. How are we able to do what we are doing? What we did is a Security Council resolution. We start with all the security forces in the state. How do we involve the communities in assisting them? It's an expanded process of community policing. And we agreed among ourselves that we should use the vigilante group of Nigeria that is registered, that everybody can belong to it. It's not only a Katsina man that can belong to the vigilante group. Muslims are there, Christians are there, Hausas are there, Yorubas are there. Everybody is a member of the vigilante group of Nigeria. So we reinforced the structure of the vigilante group of Nigeria and assisted them to work with the security agencies, what they are doing. So what we did was simple approach is a security containment strategy that will assist in community policing. But when people start making noise, do you expect us to come and join issues with them? We should not. You don't discuss your security strategy in the media because it will make the criminal elements have upper hand over you. But what is expected of us is to do the needful, to discuss with security agencies and ask them what do they need. And everywhere in the country, we need community effort to support the efforts of our security forces. Because we know every crime has a local content. If you don't involve members of the communities, how can the security forces succeed? That's exactly what we did in Katsina, an expanded process of community policing. Very
Special
simple.
advisor to the Katsina State Government on Katsina State Governor on Security Matters, Ibrahim Ahmed Katsina. So sorry to cut in, but we're out of time. Thanks for joining us.